I think you're absolutely right. This next map, however, is going to be pretty tough for Gosi.
Yeah, it is. You know, the map now is going to be Andromeda, and this is one that Gosi Terran has not been able to practice on quite as much. You know, it's a map that Koreans won't play anymore. Most of Gosi Terran's friends are Korean. You know, he's getting more well-known, more liked, and also, of course, more hated. He is a North American Terran. Do I need to say more? He's a bad manner guy.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Andromeda, a map he hasn't been able to practice quite as much, and also a superb map for Protoss.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, this is one of these maps that favors the stereotypical balance of the game, where normally Zerg, actually Protoss will, like, for instance, lose to Zerg, and Terran, for instance, will lose to Protoss.
And yeah, and Terran will lose to Zerg too.
Unfortunately, I almost said it, then I'm like, actually, you know, frankly,
not quite.
Terran will never win on this map. But no, it's an interesting map, and you know what? It's good to have these old maps, and it brings some personality to the whole game.
Yeah, well, you know, this map, what I think we're going to see out of Infernal is if he does not go for a 12 Nexus, I will be really surprised, because 12 Nexus is so easily defendable here. It's a huge map. You can even do it on the high ground so that Terran can't even, you know, have any chance of really stopping it. So I'm expecting that out of him. Out of Gosi Terran, well, you know, I think that what we're going to see is a factory expansion into a 2-factory pressure into macro.
In my opinion, I think the best build on this map is Fast Expo, and then you go to Starport. And you take the island while kind of harassing the Protoss, or at least stopping the Protoss from taking their main.
Yeah, well, you know, let's go, man. I mean, I am so excited for these two. This is a must-win game for Infernal.
It is.
Luckily, it is a good map for him as well. Shall we go?
Are you wiggling?
I'm wiggling,
I'm
jiggling.
Wiggling. My nerd arms are flailing around and slapping the keyboard and stuff because I'm just so excited to see the results of this next game.
My toes are tapping on the floor. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we are. The map. It is Andromeda. We have in the top left the Hulk Toss himself, Infernal from MTW. In the bottom right, we have Gosi Terran, the up-and-coming, perhaps future pro gamer, Mexican champion Terran player.
I gotta say, what an exciting game to see these two player types interact with each other. Obviously, these guys are both good. Everybody that's in the TSL is quite good. In fact, a lot of these games we're seeing are much higher level than the lower level games we were seeing in, for instance, the round of 256 or 128 at GOM TV in the Classic. But I gotta say, when you see these two types of playstyles interact, it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you know, I'm just sitting here waiting for Infernal to go ahead and make a quick Nexus. If he doesn't, I am going to be so surprised. This is such an easy map to be greedy on. We saw even Noni against Hydra. You know, he opened with a 12 next, even lost a base, wasn't mining from the others, still was able to win. Definitely a Protoss favored map. What are we going to see? I don't know, but look at this. He's scouting through the center of the map. Infernal somehow knows exactly where Gosi Terran is, and he's going right down there.
You know, when you see people scout like this, what it usually says is that they have specially engineered builds, so that if you're in cross spots, they're going to do one thing, but if you're close to them, that's fine. But I got to know if you're in cross spots first.
Indeed, and here he goes right up the ramp. We see he's saving a lot of minerals right now, definitely planning on that 12 Nexus. Scouts Gosi Terran down there, sees the barracks being made, realizes, you know what, my 12 Nexus cannot be stopped, and if we look at Infernal's base, like clockwork, here comes the probe, and he's going to make a Nexus.
What's fun about this map, if you're Protoss and you're in cross spots against Terran, is you can actually make a 12 Nexus at those mineral patches, and there is no way in hell Terran's going to punish it.
Yeah, it's just not happening. But look at this. Like the first game, we have Gosi Terran not taking his gas.
Oh my god.
So he's actually going to get a ridiculously fast expansion too. I expect for this expansion to be on the high ground as well. But we'll have to see. You know, Gosi Terran, he has some interesting builds. We've seen that he does know how to execute this. And against a 12 Nexus, it's going to be even better. You know, it's like he's not even going to have to make Marines to defend with.
This is... You know what's fun about these guys is that they just don't play standard games.
Yeah, you know, even Gosi Terran, who's known for kind of copying Koreans, even he has his own builds. That's the beauty of the foreigner scene.
Well, it really says something because if you're a non-Korean and you're playing StarCraft, you know what? You're your own coach. You're your own motivator. It's definitely not going to be your mom or your dad who's like, you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it's one of these things where you are completely and totally a self-determined individual.
That's right. It's one of the main reasons that Korea is far ahead of the foreigners. You know, it's just not a lot of high-level discussion going on.
Well,
so you have to kind of figure things out yourself, which lends to more interesting games because of the variety of styles.
I think so. And on top of that, like you said, you live together, but also you get us mentoring, not I think so much strategically, because obviously I think most of the pro gamers are better than coaches, but you get somebody who's going to be there emotionally to support you and encourage you. But you get players like this, and these guys are both pretty young, Ghosty, Terran especially, but you see so much determination and discipline.
Indeed you do. You know,
these two guys.
You have to be very disciplined, very determined, and very hardworking as a foreigner to get to this level. These guys are both basically, you know, low B-team level players. You know, I know the B-teamers in Korea. I've lived with them for over a year, and I tell you, these guys, they are up on that level despite the fact they had to basically teach themselves the game. So really total props to them, total props to everyone left in the TSL. Just amazing, amazing gamers. So we see now Ghosty Terran, he has expanded to the base on the low ground. It has more mineral patches, it has a gas, so it's a really good place to take. And he is starting his factories. In the meantime, he's scouting Infernal, sees the range upgrading, the 2 Gateway Dragoons making, and just pretty standard opening from Infernal. And Ghosty Terran's opening is completely safe against this. And as I said, you know, he has more mineral patches than Infernal's new base, so I like this style.
Unfortunately, this is build order punishment here. Unfortunately for Infernal, it's not unfortunate for Ghosty. But yeah, frankly, the opener, which is engineered so that the Protoss gets ahead economically, is actually going to balance out. And if Protoss doesn't get another expansion pretty quickly, Terran's actually ahead. So you got to commend Ghosty for being one of these guys that assesses build orders correctly. Because I think even with the really good Terran players, they don't always do that. Because I think for the Terran against the Protoss, that is such a nightmare, is trying to figure out how to open up and how to respond, because it's such a matchup where Protoss can win, surely based off of counter build orders.
Indeed it is. Now, Infernal has taken his third base, basically, just making the Nexus down there. Also teching up, grabbing a Robo, still just on 2 gates, but has stopped production to make you know, this tech and expansion at the same time. And Ghosty Terran, back in his base, he's got 2 factories, throwing up the second add-on. You know, he's getting his academy, he's got the engineering bay, and you know, I think that this is pretty even right now. Yeah. But Ghosty Terran's build doesn't really lend himself to attacking anytime soon, so Infernal may get ahead macro-wise on him.
Well, Terran, this is the 600-pound gorilla in the room, is that Protoss is all the way on the other side of the map. How are you going to go there and kill him? It's really hard. It's
just like a 600-pound gorilla in there.
I know, it's like, wow, especially if you have binoculars, you can see that 600-pound gorilla from all the way across the football field that he's sitting in.
Yeah.
No, but I guess what I was trying to say is this is the obvious problem that he's going to have to deal with. So, I know, let's get a shot of his base, actually. Do we see an armory? No, he went for the academy build, which usually...
Oh my God! Well, this is... Never mind.
It's like we finish each other's sentences at the same time.
It's like the merge is complete, man. We are just an Archon.
We are actually an Archon now.
Well,
okay.
What we see here is beautiful. I got a tear in my eyes. I got geek chills and little, you know, goose pimples on my arms.
It's hurting my brain so much it's growing a geek tumor.
Seriously.
Right now. No, he's going to go for it. One of these so underground timing pushes.
Yeah, this is an awesome build. This is similar to, I think, what we saw if Classic do recently against Best. You know, you just make a bunch of Marine Medics and a bunch of Siege Tanks, and you get your scanners early to stop DTs.
Yeah.
And you just go. And this is actually going to be, it looks to me, a build order win. If we take a quick look at Infernal's base, he's got the 3 base quickly. He's got the quick observers. He's got the gateways that aren't producing. He's just adding them now. And so this is actually, you know, exactly exactly what Gosi Terran wants him to do. I really see just a build order win coming out of Gosi Terran here. You know, he sees him go a 12 Nexus into a double expansion. You don't follow that up with DTs. You don't follow that up with extremely fast High Templars with Psystorm, and that makes this build ridiculously powerful. You cannot kill Marine Medic tank with, you know, just Dragoons and Zealots. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And so, you know, Infernal is going to have to become magical if he wants to stop this attack.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for him to respond to, because what he's preparing for is a game where he's going to have to stasis and recall, which is at least 5 or even 7 minutes from now. Instead, Gosi Terran's saying, nope, I'm actually investing in one big attack.
Yep.
In about the next minute here, with Medic Marine and tanks, and you know what? I know you skipped the tech level. You don't have a Reaver, you don't have Dark Templars, you could make them, but you don't have them, most likely. And you don't have Psystorm. And that's what stops Medic Marine. That's why you don't see Medic Marine in this matchup. Instead, he's saying, no, I know your response, because I've played this game so much, I understand how this game works so much. You're going to have just Zealots and Dragoons, and you're in a big hurry to stop my 3-3 tanks, but guess what? I'm going to go M&M and break you with a timing push. Now, the problem is that Dragoons and tanks are still fairly good against Medic Marine. It's not as if, like, it's black and white. It's not like Archons against a Mutalisk.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, you know, it's if we take a look at Infernal's natural right now, he's got Dragoons, he's got Zealots, and he's basically got a million billion gateways in his main base. He's going to make a ton of Dragoons and Zealots. No Psystorm making, no Arbiter making, no Reavers, obviously. If Gosi Terran controls this army correctly and rallies, he's just going to stomp right through Infernal's face. I mean, it's siege tanks obviously destroy Dragoons, and Marine Medic is ridiculously good against Dragoon Zealot. Just ridiculously good against it. But, you know what? Infernal, he's getting ready to try to get magical here. He's got his wizard cape and hat on, and he is moving around trying to make Gosi Terran go back.
I do like the way Infernal's responding to this, although Infernal, I think, is suddenly realizing, like, oh, wait a minute, this is an odd timing, because this is actually the latest game Marine tank medic timing rush I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think Infernal is quite sure on how to handle it. But remember, if he gets a good sandwich here, I don't know if it's going to happen, but he's going to try it. Here it is now!
Alright, this is huge. The siege tank's pummeling these Dragoons. Infernal out of position because he wanted to make Gosi Terran run back. Gosi Terran destroying Infernal's base. Here comes out the first High Templar. Gosi Terran sniping it! Huge move right there. And Infernal, what can he even do? You know, he has 3 speed zealots with that Dragoon army outside, and Infernal losing everything. It's looking to me like Gosi Terran is going to take out the absolute Protoss monster Infernal 3-1.
I don't think he can recover from this. You can see he's coming here. Now, if he can get these tanks, it might make a huge difference. But frankly, even if he gets half of them, he's not going to be able to play catch-up, because all the Marines have to do is move up to the starting location. Oh my God, actually, a reasonable amount of damage here and a nice Psystorm to really soften up this army. But frankly, as I've said for whatever reason for most of this cast, is that Terran units deal a lot more damage than other units. They die very quickly, but if they're there to deal the damage before they receive it, they can just win a game.
You know, pluses and minuses to having only ranged units. We see that Gosi Terran right now rallying up a lot more Marine Medic. Unfortunately for Infernal, he has just one Nexus. His economy is garbage. He has no units. He's just basically popping out DTs at this point, trying to find some way to fend this off. Absolutely not going to happen. Gosi Terran has taken this match. Just a great build, a great idea by Gosi Terran for this very difficult map.
Yeah, I got to hand it to him. I looked at the situation, I thought, nope, this is GG here. And Protoss is going to win this one, because it's such a hard position to get out of. But no, he's just showing us how to play an unconventional way, which we don't see as much from Terran players, especially nowadays, especially these young new players. Gosi Terran, you got to hand it to him. This game is over. GG is going to be any second. He's going to clean up this small army, but there it is. Good game.
That is right. So Gosi Terran has just defeated Infernal and moved on to the round of 16, the actual Team Liquid Star League, of course sponsored by PokerStrategy.com. And you know what? I gotta tell everyone out there, I told you so. I've been telling the Team Liquid admins for some time, Ghosty Terran is my dark horse in this tournament. He has the skill and the potential to knock anyone out. This includes Hydra. This includes, to a lesser extent, Rhett. And, you know, I'm really excited to see how he does in this event. But at the same time, I'm so sad to see Infernal go. Definitely one of the very top foreigners. I would not even doubt that he is at the same skill level as someone like White Raw. But, you know, it just wasn't his day.
His build order is just radiant intelligence. And there's really, you can't blame the guy for losing a game like that. But at the end of the day, you gotta go crazy for somebody like Ghosty. This was definitely our better series out of the day. Obviously, congratulations to Cole for winning. I'm not trying to steal his thunder, but I can't emphasize how high level these games were.
Yeah, you know, this is
very, very exciting.
This was awesome, and Ghosty Terran, he's going on to the round of 16. This is where the actual Team Liquid Star League starts up. This is where it gets big and important, and you guys have got to tune into this. Of course, tomorrow there's going to be some more matches, same time, same place. Different faces. We got Chill and someone I think you know pretty well, Day 9.
I think he came out of the same womb as I did.
I think so.
My younger brother, Day, is of course going to be commentating with Chill. So definitely check that out. Different faces and different voices.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know how much my voice sounds like Sean's.
But actually, you and Day 9 have a very similar face, so maybe a different voice and a different face.
We are really handsome.
You guys
so
are handsome.
I won't take that away from him. No, but yeah, definitely check that out. Look, guys, we're just in the early parts of this tournament. It's only going to get better. Don't miss a game. If you can't tune in live, then tune in the recordings, and of course check out our sponsor, pokerstrategy.com. If you like StarCraft, you like poker, pretty much all the serious StarCraft players I know, they play poker, they make money doing poker. You don't know poker, go to this site and check it out, because you're going to learn a lot, and you might as well pick up another passionate sport like StarCraft.
That is quite true. Now, you know, just a closing thought, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We have Phoenix against Casper. Phoenix, of course, one of the very best players from South America, if not the best. And then also Mondragon, the man, the myth, the legend, taking on the old school Gosu, returned just for TSL, Shaman from Romania, the best Romanian ever. So that is actually a very exciting couple of matches right there as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool, so check that out. And Dan, Artosis and me, call you by your real name.
It's okay. Dan is my slave name.
That's your slave name, man. Your real name is Artosis.
That's right.
No, but join us again, because we're going to be here a lot in the future. And I want to say special thanks to everybody at Team Liquid, because this is a very grassroots site that wouldn't be here without people that truly support and are passionate about StarCraft.
So true. You know, I can't think of anything better than that to wrap it up on. So thank you to everyone, as we've said, and thank you, of course, to you fans out there who are listening. You are why that we are doing this. So that is it. Congratulations to Cole and Ghosty Terran for moving on. And have a good night.
You guys have a great night. It's actually about 7:30 here in Korea in the morning. So I am going to go fall asleep in a taxi on the way home. But thank you guys so much. It was great being with you, and tune in tomorrow.